Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And no more Cassidy on the handy.
Holler!
How is everybody doing this week? This episode is The Karate Kid, 1984. Classic movie from when we were young. Let's see if it withstands the test of time. Yeah, Corey?
Kinda makes me appreciate Jaden Smith as an actor.
We moved to China. That's what happened.
No, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. What does IMDb's description of this movie?
This is interesting. A boy and his mother move to California for a new job. He struggles to fit in as a group of karate students start to bully him for dating a rich girl from their clique. It's up to the Japanese landlord, Miyagi, to teach him karate. The standard Japanese landlord.
Okay, right off the bat, because I typically let you read. I don't even read the descriptions of these movies, but I was interested to see what this one was. So before we recorded, I read it and I read through it. I have a few issues with this whole thing. First of all, a boy and his mother moved to California. The intro to this movie is so weird. Like, the setup, you can't start the movie when they're moving into the apartment.
Yeah, you have to have the weird montage of this is what the Grand Canyon looks like, and here's some cactus,
and here's Daniel complaining the whole way.
Oh, come on, Daniel. What's the matter? You don't like my singing?
I don't like the song, Ma.
You're gonna love California. You get up in the morning, you roll out of bed, plop, you're in your swimming pool.
Yeah, sure.
That's the whole movie.
It is. And
that's the whole angsty 14-year-old cries every time he doesn't get exactly what he wants.
Douchey New Jersey trash complains. That's what this movie should be called.
Dude, his mom is the most New Jersey mom that ever existed.
So the second part of this is the first part is they moved to California. Second part for a new job, which is with Rocket Computers. But she works as a waitress at a cafe and says that she's getting into their management program because
it's like Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
And I'm going to try to get a job at Enterprise Rent-A-Car because they got an excellent corporate structure and they give you the tools to be your own boss.
Not a sponsor.
Definitely not a sponsor.
But yeah, you sign up for their management program in 3 strong years. You're running your own cafe, Chief.
So that was a whole question I had throughout the movie. I was like, I thought she was working in computers. And when she says the cafe has her in the management program, I was like, okay, well, maybe she had that as a second job. But then she says the benefits are better at the cafe?
Well, it's 1984 when you're dealing with Rocket Computers, because that's a thing. It's it's an up and coming market.
So that's the one question I had. The second question is he struggles to fit in. No, he does not. The minute they move in, he meets this friend. They become fast friends in 3 seconds.
Yep.
Invites him to a beach party where he meets this pretty rich girl. And she's obviously interested in him. He actually becomes fast friends with a lot of people.
Yeah, everybody's cool with him until the ruckus starts.
Yes. They introduce Johnny, right? Mm-hmm. First thing out of Johnny's mouth, because they call him a degenerate, and he's like, no, you know what? Tomorrow's the start of my senior year.
Yeah.
I'm turning things around. I'm going to make everything work this year. I'm trying to be a better person. Now, he starts off the trying to be a better person by being a dick at the little beach party. But Daniel's talking to Allie, played by Elizabeth Shue, and she sees Johnny come. And this, I didn't realize it until I saw it this time, but she punts the soccer ball for no reason, I thought.
Oh.
But it's because she sees Johnny come and shit. Let me get this kid away.
I'm about to save this scrawny little kid's friggin' life.
If I'm Daniel and she punts it, I'm like, what the hell? And then I see the motorcycles come down. I'm going to be like, oh, that was a hint and a half for my ass to just step away. I don't butt in.
No, it even when he does decide it's necessary for him to get involved, when Johnny throws Allie's radio,
Yeah.
and he picks it up and tries to hand it back, Johnny tells him, "Put that down. This is none of your fucking business."
Yes.
I mean, he's PG, so he didn't say F-bomb, but, you know. And Daniel still decides that, no, I need to butt in. Your first response, kids, is, you're right. This is none of my business. He wasn't physical with her. He didn't lay his hands on her.
No.
They're having an argument because they used to be a couple.
Yes.
And they're in high school. Look here, Jersey boy. That ain't none of your concern. And coming from New Jersey, you should know when something's not your business, you turn and walk the other way.
Hey, listen, I'm not from Jersey, but I'm from up
Thank
that
God,
way.
that's the only reason we're friends.
But one thing you're taught from jump is mind your business, which Daniel does not do a good job. Now, there is a theory out there that Johnny's the good guy, Daniel's the bad guy. And it's a funny theory, which I bought into for a little bit. Rewatching this, Johnny and Daniel are just both assholes. Like that's
Dude.
what I got from this. Johnny is, he's had a bad home life.
Yeah, because you never see his parents.
No. He is a rich kid. Now, if you watch the Cobra Kai series, you realize how bad his childhood was.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch that.
It's a good series, I'll be honest.
I will totally take your word for it.
But he has this shitty home life.
Mm-hmm.
He has a crap sensei who's a complete asshole.
Oh, yeah.
How he doesn't turn into an asshole, it's a miracle if he doesn't. Like and I don't know, he's a great looking kid in high school, popular. Yeah, that it's gonna happen. But Daniel, from the time this movie starts, even till the end, he complains and bitches and moans about everything until he gets what he wants, and then he stops. He's like, "Oh, I got what I wanted. Cool."
But then he just can't quit asking questions.
Yes.
Like, if ever there was a kid that needed Adderall, it's him. Because he just can't keep his mind focused. He's legitimately one of the first kids in a movie to have ADHD.
Yeah. Well, and the funny thing about that whole beach scene, the second thing I noticed is Daniel's new friends that he meets are they're bigger pricks than Johnny and his friends, because they're egging him on. They obviously know who this Johnny kid is.
Thank you.
And they egg him on. They're like, yeah, kick his ass, yeah. And I'm pretty sure they were talking to Johnny, because there's no way that this scrawny little kid is going to kick the hell out of Johnny.
No, dude. His boy from 3 Doors Down, Freddie No-Nos, should have been like, yo, like, you're flirting with Allie, go make a move. They're all egging him on to go make a move on it. Like, yo, she's checking you out, bro. How do you not warn him?
Yeah.
Hey, man, guess what? You can go down that road. Her boyfriend rolls with a crew of psycho karate dudes on motorbikes. Maybe not press the issue too hard.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? This movie, to me, because I had the same thing. Like, they're both assholes. Neither of them is really the protagonist.
Yeah.
Like, Pat Morita is the only good guy in this movie.
Yeah.
Only good guy. And it became clear to me, I think it was when they're finally going through, like, he finally shows them, like, I wasn't teaching you to really paint the fence. Like, this is how you block a kick.
Yeah.
And sand the floor is the punch and blah, blah, blah. Daniel has this kind of look in his eyes that every teenager gets. And I think this is really what the movie is about, is because that's the moment Daniel realizes he doesn't know shit about like, he thought he had it all figured out, like every teenager ever.
Mm-hmm.
had that one adult mentor who's like, no, dude, you're actually blocking a punch this way. And he went, holy shit, because from that point on, his attitude is 100% different.
Yeah.
He's like a reformed drug addict, like just trying to get his life straight. Like he's being nice to people, he's making amends, he's doing all this stuff. So to me, this movie is the battle for a teenage boy's soul. And you have good in Pat Morita, and you have evil in John Kreese, who is Cobra Kai's sensei. And that's the real battle. These kids are just fucking pawns.
You know what?
This is angels and demons, bro.
I like I like the take, but here's the other issue that I've run into with this. So they get into this whole, Johnny was an asshole, Daniel was an asshole. Daniel gets he gets pushed off the cliff. It's a hill that Daniel doesn't know how to ride his bike. And then he gets the whole, I hate this bike, stupid bike.
That bike, I hate this bike. I hate this friggin' bike. This stupid bike.
It's because the bike kept pushing Johnny to an edge.
It's the bike's fault. So it's always everybody else's fault.
Yep.
The other thing is, he goes 2 months. So the beach scene is in the summer, the day before school starts.
Yes.
Let's call it late August.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe early September, and he gets his ass kicked by Johnny. Then they see him at the karate dojo thing. They push him off the hill. Okay, that happens within like the first week of school. Like let's call it the first few days.
Right.
We pick up. It flashes forward to around Halloween.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
He literally does it without incident. I'm sure if there was an incident, it would be in the movie. Without incident for basically 2 months almost.
Mm-hmm.
They're showing there's a clip inside the school where they're setting up for the Halloween party. Johnny's minding his own business. Allie's minding her own business. Daniel's brooding, and he decides he doesn't want to go to the Halloween party. So let's go. He's like, wow, if I was in the Invisible Man. So Miyagi makes him this huge, totally inconspicuous, huge shower thing.
Right.
And again, without incident for 2 months, he gaslights the whole situation by dumping water on Johnny when all he's trying to do is roll a J.
Yeah, he's trying to rock. He wants to chill. He knows he's got a rage problem, and he's trying to chill with his medical marijuana.
He's dealing with it, yeah.
Everybody's fucking with him. And all because Allie goes, well, I hope he gets what he deserves. And Shower Boy decides, you know what? I'm dancing with this woman, or this girl that I'm totally enamored with. Mm-hmm. High school puppy love.
Johnny...
I'm going to leave you real quick, because I'm going to go fuck with the guy that's literally thrown me off a cliff and beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, but hasn't done a thing since. Johnny seems to be, handling his stuff. He's turning things around, like he said.
Well, he's training for the All Valley tournament.
Yeah.
He's owning his senior year.
Yes.
And part of that is medicating himself with marijuana.
But yeah, Daniel decides like, wow, I'm going to gaslight this whole situation. I'm going to give him a what for.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not how it works. You're still puny. You're still small. You still don't know karate. So how about you just leave things be, and everything will kind of work itself out. Okay.
By the way, you also can't run. No. Speaking as a little scrawny guy who constantly stuck his foot in his mouth, you learn to run very quickly. He does the water thing, books it out of there. Those guys do. There's like 4 or 5 of them. They do a Three Stooges act where they're like all bumping into each other in doorwells and shit, and like, "Wow, I can't get through, you knucklehead!" And they still catch up with him, like that.
Yeah. Well,
you run if you're pulling some shit, Johnny Knoxville. That's not smart.
This is after Daniel causes a 5-car pileup and about $15,000 worth of damage. This is where, Miyagi steps in, kicks the shit out of the kids. Mm-hmm. He thinks he's saving this really good kid who's having some problems, which we
Yeah.
all know is not the case. But then, Daniel's an asshole to Miyagi in that because he was like, well, that was you that saved me? Why don't you teach me? And he's like, no. And he's like, fine, you fucking jerk. Yeah, thanks for saving me.
Oh, thanks for nothing then, man. Thanks for nothing. Like I didn't have enough problems already. Now I gotta carry your weight too. Thanks. Don't do me any more favors, okay, pal?
By the way, because those kids were going to knock you the fuck into a coma. Not out, into a coma. They were beating your ass at a construction site.
So,
and even if Johnny is like, yo, I got my weed, I'm trying to chill, he is rolling with the biggest psychopaths LA has to offer. Like David from the Lost Boys is asking Johnny for these guys' resume.
Yeah.
Like, yo, man, these psychos want to become vampires because I got them.
Kiefer Sutherland is actually in Cobra Kai, if you did not know that.
Looks like
he's poor man Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh, with like the Demolition Man hair.
But
Dutch.
Miyagi takes him. This is the other thing that bothered me. So Miyagi takes him to Cobra Kai and says, don't touch my kid. And they figure out, well, we'll deal with this at a December 19th tournament. So you've had 3 instances where he's gotten his ass kicked, 2 of which were completely on him.
Yes.
And now he says, don't touch my guy until the tournament. So basically, okay, you got your ass kicked twice, really. They were both kind of your fault. And then they're not allowed to touch you till December 19th. You're basically going 4 months and you've only had 2 instances that were your fault.
Yeah.
So
how about this? Your guy doesn't fuck with my guy.
How about your guy?
Let's just flip that around. Let's make it an all-around thing, okay?
But Daniel takes this as an opportunity to be douchebag extraordinaire.
Flaunts it.
And
flaunts.
Hey, Tommy, how's the shoulder? Hey, Johnny, what about we hang out later, you little prick?
How you doing? It's good to see you. Hey, sorry about the eye there, Johnny. Shoulder okay, Tommy? You guys be careful not to go stepping in front of any more buses now, all right?
He uses it in front of Allie to show
in front of the entire school
that he handled things. You didn't do nothing.
No, Miyagi wiped your little potty butt for you and tucked you in nicely into your crib so that you could survive 2 more maybe you could live till Christmas. That's what I'm going to do for you. And then you fucking shove it in everybody's face.
Yeah.
We also glossed over one of the main incidents that lends credence to the fact that Daniel LaRusso is the bad guy or is a bully. Is after he gets his ass kicked on the beach, he actually has to go to school, goes to school, is trying out for soccer, gets tripped, and punches his guy because he got tripped. Bruh, that's why there's referee. You don't have to handle that shit. He probably won't make the team. You being a little crybaby bitch and punching a guy that tripped you in an athletic event, that's astounding to me.
Yeah. But we get to, you flash forward, there's other hijinks that happen and miscommunications, and, he sees Johnny kissing Allie in the thing, and then whoopsie, SpaghettiOs.
Which, by the way, a group full of rich adults pissing their pants laughing at a 14-year-old kid who tripped and got spaghetti on his shirt.
He's not 14. He's like 17.
He's 15 turning 16.
Oh, is he?
Because Miyagi gives him a car for his birthday.
Okay. So he's, a sophomore then?
He's a sophomore or junior at best.
And he's screwing with seniors? Come on now. That ain't cool. He should know better. But yeah, so there's that scene. But him and this is why I thought Daniel was a jackass in that scene, is because Johnny and him make eye contact.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny gets this shit-eating grin as he does. Best shit-eating grin in cinema history. And then decides to kiss Allie. Daniel should know what he's doing. But Daniel is so 0 to 60 on the anger scale that
And all himself. He's
it-
all in his own
it
head.
just he sees red and that's it.
People exist in Daniel LaRusso's universe simply to give him what he wants.
Yeah, Daniel LaRusso
That's
lives. He lives in a 6-inch bubble around himself. Like that's if it's outside of here, he doesn't care.
100%.
But yeah, so then he gets Allie back in some half-assed apology, and Allie's like, tee.
And he's pressing his fucking moose knuckle up against her butt on the goddamn fence when he's apologized. Like, huh? You forgive me? You forgive me? How about now?
I think it was.
What the fuck are you doing, dude?
was-
Personal space. Once again, whatever Daniel wants, he's gonna get.
Yeah, I believe that was
Period.
his camel tail that he was.
So fucking like, what are you doing, bro? She's wanted nothing to do with you since that whole incident. And you're gonna fucking moose knuckle her. You're gonna mons push her right in front of the entire water park because hey, Daniel wants to apologize. That's how we do it in Jersey.
Hey.
Can we go back real fast
Sure.
to that kiss where Johnny kisses Allie? She pushes him away, says, "Don't you ever do that to me again," slaps the shit out of him. Allie's parents look at Johnny and go, "Are you okay?"
Her mom goes, "Are you okay?"
What the fuck were parents and their daughters doing in the 80s? That is... No, he's not okay because he just kissed your fucking daughter full on the dance floor in front of everybody with zero permission.
Exactly.
You don't have to have a signed contract in the 80s. I get that shit. But Jesus Christ, parents.
Yeah. And then this is what I say to sum up this whole movie, because after this you get to the karate tournament,
which is actually really great.
I'll be honest,
I love the karate tournament.
I actually love this whole movie still. Like I still actually like the movie. The karate tournament obviously is the culmination of everything and is great. I love it. But when I got to the end of this movie, Daniel wins and Johnny comes up and gives him the trophy, and he was like, he says, whatever, you're all right, or whatever. Yeah. I realized then and there that Johnny has the best character arc of anybody in this movie. This movie's about Daniel LaRusso struggling against bullies and overcoming and all of that. But if you see Johnny at the beginning and Johnny at the end, and everything that happens throughout this movie, he has the best character arc out of anybody. He's the only one. He's the only one that learns anything.
He has that same look in his eyes when Daniel realizes he's not just doing household chores and he's learning karate. Johnny has that same look in his eyes when Sensei wipes the blood from his nose and tells him to sweep the leg.
Yeah.
And he just kind of looks at him like, I don't have to do that. Like, I can beat this kid. He's not that great at karate. I just need to fucking focus and stop trying to actually beat the shit out of him. And he has that moment, and it's like at that moment, it's just like, yeah, I don't really think this is the way for me.
Yeah.
You know, like I understand, like I'm a 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid. I understand that I'm going to cheat every now and again to get a little bit ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. But when you can actually win fair and square and you still cheat, and let alone the person you look up to is telling you to cheat, that's a hint and a half for your ass that you're on the wrong path.
Absolutely.
And I think he knew. I think that moment he realized that I didn't have to do that.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, the note that I wrote at the end of this movie was Johnny. It was about Johnny's character arc and how he's the one actually learning all the lessons in this. And the only thing Daniel learns in this whole movie is karate. He learns 0 lessons in this movie. He learns karate. He gets a free car. He gets the girl. Like, all he's learned is that if he complains and bitches enough, that he's going to get everything that he wants.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
And maybe put in a little bit of work and you might get what you want.
Yeah, make your shoulder just sore enough to where a hot hand will make it feel a lot better. Again, the reason I think this is more about Pat Morita is because the last shot is of Pat Morita.
Yeah.
And that smile. Because he knew it wasn't about karate and all. He was trying to save this little shit.
Yeah.
from just going down that path of whiny, abusive, alcoholic father. Because that's what he was going to end up being.
Just an abusive, drunk New Jersey trash still talking about, hey, my Uncle Louie.
Dude.
Oh,
But I
so
think it's too, also is Allie throughout this movie has very little say in what's happened. Johnny wants her. No, Daniel wants her. No, Johnny wants her. No, Daniel wants her. Her parents want her to do this. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
All the way through the movie. If it wasn't for her, they get disqualified immediately at the All Valley tournament. She's the only one that even thought about what, like, oh, there are rules? This is a professional athletic competition and there are actually rules?
I am dead. You told me you fought a lot.
Ah, for life, not for points.
Daniel, look, everything above your waist is a point. You can hit the head, you can hit the sternum, kidneys, and the ribs. You got it?
the only reason she knew the rules is because she dated Johnny, who was the All Valley champion for the past couple of years.
Right.
That's why she knew all the rules. If Daniel wasn't interested and she didn't get back with Daniel, you're right. He would have gotten disqualified in the first 5 minutes of that tournament.
Yeah. And never thanks her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wants to constantly be left alone.
Yep.
Constantly. And this is the last thing I'll say about the movie is you can tell Daniel is actually a dick and really just there is no protagonist in this movie. He is antagonist A or B with Johnny because he makes friends with Freddie No-Nose next door. They take him to the party. He gets his ass kicked. Next day at school, he gets into a fight again on the soccer field. Freddie No-Nose lives 3 doors down from him, and you never see him again. That's how big of a fucking prick this kid is.
Well, you don't see Freddie No-Nose because after he gets his ass kicked, he's like, ugh, we can't hang out. I think they literally say, where'd you find this guy?
You sure pick cool people to be friends with, Freddie.
Where'd you find this guy?
Come on, let's go. Good guy.
I just think everybody's an asshole in this movie, except for
Dude.
Pat Morita.
Kids in the 80s are rapey, whiny assholes.
They absolutely are.
That all are they're dying to learn karate.
Oh, so this is what we do. In your opinion, does this stand the test of time?
I'm so torn.
I'm not, and here's why.
Call me Natalie Imbruglia because I am torn.
Christ. This is why I'm not. Because this is still an enjoyable film to watch. Regardless of whether you think Daniel's the good guy, the bad guy, or if you're like me and you're like, just everybody's kind of a freaking asshole in this movie. It's still enjoyable to watch. The karate tournament is it's all great. I love that. And Pat Morita does a fantastic job throughout this freaking movie. And even Martin Cove, who plays Kreese. The acting in this is done really well. Everybody does a great job. The only thing that doesn't stand the test of time in this whole movie, and I've thought about this a lot, is what Daniel LaRusso wears throughout this entire goddamn movie. Because everybody else, I'm like, oh, that's an 80s thing. You know, the headband. Johnny's got the headband with the flowy blonde hair, which is making a comeback. But some of the clothes that Allie wears, like, yeah, it's all 80s stuff. And then enter Daniel LaRusso with his plaid shirt tucked into his camo pants. Like,
They wanted you to know how poor he was. He might as well have just been wearing like a burlap sack.
he didn't even wear Nikes. They were like brown Nikus. Like
He went into the cafeteria and said, "Please, sir, may I have some more?"
Like, that's the only thing that doesn't stand the test of time is everything Ralph Macchio wears throughout this entire movie. But I think the movie, and this is how I know it withstands the test of time, because they remade this movie and it sucked ass. So I would still rather watch this movie than the Jackie Chan, what's his Jaden Smith movie.
Don't you dare talk shit about Jaden Smith.
That movie's trash.
No, it's garbage.
Yeah.
This movie, I would say that I almost agree with everything. I hate everything in this movie up to the karate tournament because, as we've discussed ad nauseum, there is no good guy. They are intentionally trying to manipulate me into rooting for a kid who's a fucking prick. And that's like it drives me. Even like when they introduce Johnny, they have like the scary, like the intense synthesizer music as he rolls up on his motorcycle.
Yeah,
trying to, like, this is the bad guy.
That was awesome. Free time, man. Who's for a warm one? Here you go. No.
The whole first part of this, up until the karate tournament, to me, is awful. Because there is literally nobody to root for other than Allie transferring schools. The second half of the movie, the karate tournament, Pat Morita, as you were saying, the soundtrack in this movie, everything in this movie is great except for the first half of this movie. And it's not the acting, it's none of that shit. It's just that there is literally nobody to root for. I have no desire for Daniel LaRusso to come out of this whole thing a better person. I just want him to go away.
And he doesn't for a few more movies.
Forever. He goes to Japan and does the same shit. That's how you know he doesn't fucking learn anything. He goes to Okinawa and is like, oh, exactly the same premise, except for that guy's basically a Japanese fucking Yakuza mob boss. And I'm going to take his girlfriend now. Because why not? I'm the All Valley champion. Of course I can take on fucking Yakuza.
Oh, Jesus.
So that whole aspect drives me crazy. The karate tournament, I love. I still kind of got like a little smile on my face when Pat Morita claps and you hear the boom right with the music.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah. Because back in the day, I remember thinking like, shit. All I got to do is rub my hands together and I'm good.
I'm gonna fix everything.
I don't know why you didn't do that for your hand, but, that's why I'm so torn, because I hate the first half of this movie. It has nothing to do with the actors or any of that shit. Second half of it is great, and Pat Morita genuinely deserved a supporting Oscar nod. Because he was great. He was great in this movie.
Yep.
All anybody is to him is racist.
That's...
Just everybody is calling him horrible shit.
No, you're absolutely right.
No, it's 1984, not 1944, right? Like, he didn't just walk out of a fucking internment camp. It's okay. I think it's safe.
Yeah, but yeah, for me, I think it stands the test of time. You, not so much? You're 50-50?
50-50.
All right, that works.
Just make sure your kids if you're going to sit down and watch this with your kids, make sure they understand the lesson in this, which is don't be these two kids that are learning karate.
Don't be an asshole. That's the lesson in this movie. And mind your business.
Yes. For God's sakes, mind your business. Tell me you couldn't use that on Twitter right now.
Do you have anything else for this movie?
No, sensei.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else, so...
By the way, 7.2 on IMDb.
Nobody cares.
Nobody gives a shit. Cool. See you guys.
For Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews. This was The Karate Kid, 1984. Hiya. We'll see you guys later.